Let's fire up the 394 XP today. I'm gonna put a bar and chain on it, and let's run that today. I haven't had it out in a while. Let's give her a little bit of a workout. I think I'm gonna bring that Pioneer. Although when I ran it on film the other day, it spit all the recoil bolts out. So we'll have to do something about that. But let's have a big saw day. Why not, right? We're noodling large rounds. Let's pull out some big saws and boogie a little bit. Okay. This is a Stihl mount bar. Okay, large mount Stihl. I drilled a couple extra holes in it so that it fits various other saws. So that's a C-clip, or a cotter pin rather. Here, that's a cotter pin, folks. Some of you guys have asked me. Now it actually doesn't fit on this saw, so what I'm going to do, I'll pause you guys. I'm going to grab another one and cotter pin it. Okay, just want to show you guys. Again, Bush League, it works though. Okay, cotter pin. I cut it short here so that it doesn't hit this screw. This cotter pin's a little big. I hit the flats, or I hit the tops a little bit with a grinder. Okay. I get asked this all the time, and yeah, it's Bush League, but you know what? It works. Look, okay, Stihl large mount. The adjuster fits perfect. Here, I'm going to prop this up with my drill, and I'm going to bring you guys in so you guys can see. I get asked this all the time. You're almost better off to buy Stihl large mount. If you can't afford a separate bar for every saw you own and you have Huskies and Stihls, in my opinion, you're better off to buy the Stihl mounts and make adapters. You can make them out of pieces of tubing. I'm probably going to do a video on that. I'm going to make tube spacers, but in a pinch, like right now, you can just do that and it works fine. We'll take the slot right out of the bar. Put you back in the mount here, guys. Okay. There we go. Okay. I love this saw, guys. This is one of my favorite saws. My good buddy, we did a little trade. I traded the $9.99 Oleomac for this saw. And not that I didn't like that $9.99. That thing's a monster. One of the hardest pulling saws I've ever run is that Oleomac 999. Like that thing, that's a serious saw. One of the torquiest saws and hardest pulling saws I've ever run, period. That includes, you know, Stihl 880s and stuff like that. My buddy Mills, sorry guys, I'm just fumbling. My buddy mills a lot, and that is probably the best milling saw you can get. It takes a Stihl large mount, which most of his milling bars are Stihl large mount, like 880 mount, because that's what he mills with typically. So it takes an 880 mount. There we go. These clips are a little finicky at times, but it takes a Stihl 880 mount, and that saw, it cuts at the right speed, especially when he's milling hardwood and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. I should have done this before. You guys get the idea. This is Oregon EXL. A little on the loose side. This chain's going to stretch a little bit, so this is out of the box Oregon EXL 32 full comp. There we go. Yeah, let's run this thing today. I'm already feeling better. I was pretty sore this morning when I woke up. Went a little hard at work yesterday. I don't get paid by the hour, I get paid per job, so which is good for YouTube. There we go. Little on the snug side, but again, at the minute this thing gets warm, it's gonna stretch, being a new chain. But yeah, I've always liked getting paid by the job because I can make my own schedule, and it's kind of nice. Well, this is a stock, early 90s. This is an early 12 millimeter 044 Arctic. Ooh, just scraped my knucks there a little bit. Better be careful on that there old chain. I've had this saw for, oh, I don't know, not many years, but several years, 4 maybe. Yeah, look, see? Is that chain sharp? Probably. Just gonna throw that bar and chain. Okay. Make sure our oiler holes are clean. They are not. There, what do we got in the old pickle trunk here? Here, business card, that'll probably work. There we go. I'm gonna put a brand new loop of Oregon EXL. Ooh, a tin basher with a cut hand. You guys ever seen that before? Brand new out of the box EXL. I like this chain. This is the chain for me. It's fast out of the box. Most stock chains. Sorry folks, I'm not paying attention. Most stock chains, I tend to, I'll hit the rakers or, you know, right out of the box, because sometimes I even sharpen them. They're not very fast. I mean, they're sharp, but they could be sharper. Okay. There we go. This saw, for me, is, for a stock saw, this is one of the best saws I've ever run. It's strong out of the box. I know why guys like these. This is one still that'll never leave my stable. And this saw is original. Original piston, rings, crank seals, crank, bearings, OEM cylinder. The only thing wrong with this saw when I got it, the handle was busted. There we go. This has a Farmer Tech handle, which I've had on here for like 4 years, and no problems with it. I even used the Farmer Tech fuel line just to see. No problems with it, so I'll do that, guys. If I'm fixing something for me, I'll try an inferior part, you know. Now that chain's a little bit tight, but it's gonna stretch the minute we fire it up. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay, folks. Well, let's load up some fuel and oil, and let's go process some firewood. Okay, we're at the wood pile. I'll need to noodle up this big round. I can't move this by hand. I mean, I'm sure I could, but I'm getting too old for that stuff. In my 20s, oh yeah, I probably would have picked this up and slung her right into the back of the truck, but tomorrow Tinman's back would not appreciate today Tinman's back doing that to itself. So if you guys know what I'm saying. Let's make a cut with the 044. I brought the 394. We'll probably noodle this up with the 94, but let's play with the 044 a little bit. Just check if it's got bar oil. It's got some fuel in it. Oh yeah, we're good. We can make a few cuts like that. Love this saw. This is one of my favorite saws I've ever owned. Again, this thing's been sitting for 6 months. Again, I love that saw. That saw is like 25, 30 years old and it still just rips. I'm going to fire up the 94 and noodle this. After you've been running ported saws and big saws though, that thing, it feels a little underpowered. It's not. I would say this is the strongest of the old style 70cc saws I've ever owned. And this thing's stock. I don't think it has a base gasket in it. I'd have to check my notes, but I mean, this thing's strong. Good job, Stihl. Every time I run that saw, I'm impressed. Okay, I'm gonna get these set up and let's noodle them. Okay, let's get the 94 running. I'm not even sure if it has fuel in it. This cap leaks. Yeah, I gotta get some fuel. I always forget to fuel up before I never forget to fuel up my saw, but I often forget to grab my fuel. There we go. I didn't pre-fire this or anything. I just pulled it off the shelf, put a bar on it, and this is that kind of saw. That 44 and this 94 are the two probably most reliable saws I've ever owned. And I mean, this thing just starts, which is nice. You don't want a 94cc power saw that doesn't start quickly. At least I don't. It's just fun to pull them out once in a while. I don't need these often, but we got a big nail here. So note to self, miss nail with brand new chain. Oregon EXL. Man, it's nice out today. Okay. 394 XP, full choke. This might be too high. Sounds like an 80cc dirt bike. I whacked my finger there on a round. Oops. It's one of those days. Now friends, you guys know I run ported saws. This thing is strong. Again, one of those saws that Husqvarna just got right. Playing out, this thing pulls. I've never ported this saw. This thing is clean, low mile. It's not a logging saw. It's some local had it, I'm guessing. And my buddy bought this locally and ended up in my possession. I traded him for that $9.99 Oleomac. He uses the Oleomac for milling. This is just a faster saw than that $9.99. That $9.99 will pull harder in big wood or in a milling application. But for doing stuff like this and falling larger trees, this thing rips, and it weighs about 8 pounds less than that $9.99. So this is my favorite big saw. It's reliable, it starts good, low vibes, and it's fast. This thing definitely has more power than that 2095 John thread that my buddy lent the channel. I don't know if I've dropped a video on that yet. That thing feels like it needs a muffler and a port job. This thing just pulls. I mean, that 2095 isn't a weak saw, but this thing's just silly. Silly. Let's keep noodling. I just wanted to, you know, yak like I do. I'm gonna noodle up these two bottom ones, because again, I don't want to pick these up. I'm too I could do it, but that hurts my back after a while. And you guys see my finger, I whacked my finger when I was moving rounds there. And yeah, I should wear gloves, but I don't. I've never been a glove wearer. There you go. Okay, let's give this thing the what for. Helps if you turn it on. So, what did you guys think? The Tinman runs stock saws. It must have been amazing to be a logger in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I mean, if you leave out the Max and the early Poulins and that, those are old style saws, which they're cool, the pioneers. But when you're talking modern saws where they got it right, the late 80s, early 90s is where it all came together. These are both early 90s saws, and um, I don't know. You'd be hard pressed to beat these two saws, the 394 XP and the 044 Stihl. You'd be pretty hard pressed to beat these with anything modern. The fact that these are still here and running are a testament. These are original saws, okay? This one has no base gasket. That's it. It's original piston, cylinder, rings, carb, intake. Everything on this saw is original still. I don't know if the intake's original, but you guys get what I'm saying. This saw is like brand new inside. I won't port it because I don't want to wreck a nice cylinder. This saw is way too nice and it's too reliable. Same with this. And you guys see these things cut. This thing's a monster. I would say of the 95cc class saws, this is the strongest. These outpull 395s, at least all the ones I've run. That 2095 that my buddy lent the channel, I think this has more pull. And these, I don't know. You'd be hard pressed to find a stronger 70cc saw stock. And ported even. Go back in the channel. Monster Stihl MS440. Search that in the channel. That's a 440, which is exactly like this that I ported. That thing's an animal. Guy who runs that is still running it today, and he's running that with a 36. So, I digress, though I'm rambling. These saws are the cream of the crop, in my opinion. If I only had a couple of saws to roll around with, this would definitely be one of them, and this would be my big saw, hands down. And a 266, and I'm a happy man. You give me those three saws, an 044, a 266, and a 394 XP. I can do everything and anything. A nod goes to the 562 also. I still really like that saw. Probably because I haven't blown it up yet, but it came to me blown up. Anyways, friends, what a cool thing to run two early 90s power saws. And like I said, it must have been a glorious time to be a power saw runner in the early 90s, especially a production faller. These saws are incredible. They really are. I'm blessed to own them. And it's just a cool thing to be able to pull them out once in a while and play with them. I've cut a lot of firewood with this saw, and it just gets better and better and better as I own it. Anyhow, friends, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. If I can, brighten your day or teach you something or entertain you, that's what this is about. This isn't about look how fast my saws are. This is about let's help each other. With power saws or just anything, Again, send me an email, tinmansaws@gmail.com. Gmail, it's on my about page. Is it .ca or .com? I think it's .com. If you guys have a power saw question, you're working on something, just shoot me an email. If you don't hear back in 3-4 days, hit me again. I always try and get to as many emails as I can. I'm at the size of channel now that I can't get to all of them, of course, but I try diligently to answer your guys' questions. So if you have a power saw question, please email me and I will try and help you. Anyhow, friends, as always, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.